Hello, everyone. This is Scott here with Cowboy Counselor. It's time to light the fires and kick the tires again and make something up. So, today, what I'm going to be working on is this very antique piece of rebar that I found up on the farm. I don't know how old it is, but it's rusted through pretty good in a couple of spots. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for a what I would call a scrap dragon. And I started making stuff like this 30 years ago, where it's snakes, dragons, gargoyles. I've got several things around my property. It's just too cold and snowy to go outside right now and give some examples of that. So the way I go into this is I just kind of start and I just let my sculpture take form as I go. So I've got my coal forge lit up and I'm going to go ahead and start with this piece of steel and just kind of see where it takes me. Okay, I'm going to start by heating just one end so I can draw it out into a point for the tail. And you can see that's a long enough piece of stock. I kind of have it hanging off of one of my hooks there just so it doesn't fall back out of the fire. Okay. Start forging a tail out of there and kind of bringing it to a point. Okay, I'm just going to start putting some bends in this thing. Try to make it look like a snake or a dragon or something. Okay. And hopefully before I lose all my heat, I'll bend back the other way. Okay. We have kind of a nice serpentine type looking tail. I'm going to level it out just a hair. Here's what we got so far. Okay, I'm going to throw another bend into the body. Doing the same thing. Direction. Okay. Now I'm going to take it out and throw it in the snow so I can grab it by the other end with my bare hands because it's hot right now. And then come back in and start working on the head section. Actually, I might put more of a bend in that so it's in line with the tail. Okay. And like I said, I just kind of do these as I go, kind of what occurs to me. They're a lot of fun. We can show the head kind of rearing up. It's kind of bending a little sharper than what I wanted because there's a weak point, so I'm just going to hammer a little bit to keep my roundness. Okay. So there's our critter so far. Going to make a few adjustments. Once again, I'm kind of trying to envision my sculpture, what it's going to look like. Right now, it looks like a snake. I would like to turn that into a dragon so I can demonstrate putting some copper wings on it. Okay, I'm just going to cut these horseshoes on an anvil hardy. Not much to that. I'm going to bend it off. Now I have a half a horseshoe. I'm going to put that back into the fire. go ahead and cut this other one as well. Now I have 4 pieces that I can do something with. Okay, horseshoes are all heating, kind of self-explanatory. I'm sure you can see that fire. Kind of a foot, if you can see it. Should sit on the dragon, something about like that. Same thing with this one. Whoops. But this one I'm going to want going forward, so I'm going to flatten that out a little. Actually, I'm not real sure where I'm going with that. I think I'm going to have to go to the dragon and see what look it is I want. I kind of want one foot going forward and the other one sitting back like it's moving. Okay, I'm going to kind of demonstrate how I'm looking at these legs. Ooh, it's still pretty warm. So what I want to do, whoops, I'm using my fire tongs because I just took that out of the fire. Dadgummit. So what I wanted, there, like that. So that one should be forward. I want the other leg to go back. So I may as well go ahead and, demonstrate welding those on. Okay. Okay, I think that's kind of the look I'm going for. So I'm going to go ahead and weld these on. These feet are also going to have claws on them. I'll demonstrate what that means later on. Okay, as you can see, this thing is starting to take a little bit of life to it. I've got a couple of legs on it. Okay. It's also important to build a solid enough base when I'm doing a sculpture like this that as I add weight to the top of it, because that thing's going to have a head on it and wings, of that it is kind of a counterbalance, so it can't easily be tipped over. I think I am going to tip that tail up just a little bit at an angle. I just think it looks kind of odd laying on the ground. Looks like a bull snake instead of a dragon. Okay, I've got that back in the fire heating just so I can tip that tail up a little bit. And I think I'm going to call it good for today. Some of these sculptures can take me weeks to work on. I made a copper horse last winter that I think I was almost 3 months into it. If I grab it, I'll take a picture of it and maybe add it onto this. But I'm going to call this Scrap Dragon Part 1. And if I go ahead and post this, then I promise there will be a Part 2 or maybe even a Part 3 as I work on this and get all the rest of the dragon-y type things on it. So thank you for joining me today and stay warm out there. Have a great day.